Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry for the little bit of the late start. Got Coach Monken here for his weekly press conference. So, Coach, if you want to open us up with the opening statement.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's sure nice to be in here after a win again. The weeks are always more enjoyable coming off of a victory. I'm really proud of our team and our staff and just overcoming some adversity on Saturday. And we faced some on Saturday that we probably didn't face in the opening football game. So that second quarter just really didn't go very well for us. We had some 3 and outs and a turnover and some foolish penalties and some things didn't go our way, but really encouraged to see our guys come out in the second half and play well enough to win the football game and make some plays in every phase, and proud of our team for the victory. So it's hard to win. It's hard to win a game, and they've got an athletic, well-coached football team, and we benefited from just having had the opportunity to practice and get prepared through preseason camp and get ready for them. We had a game under our belt, and I think our guys just felt a bit of confidence after having had a win in the opening game. So glad to get a win, and now getting prepared for Cincinnati a week from this Saturday.
We'll start with questions here from Rich DeMarco.
Hey, Coach. Congratulations on the 2 wins. Would you say that the first 2 games are your team taking care of business, or have they exceeded maybe your expectations for these first 2 games?
There's been plenty of things that our team's done well that I've been proud of, and we easily recognized getting a lot of takeaways on defense. That's been really good. I think we've got 6 on the season now. Certainly in the first game, scoring on every drive of that game. In both games, controlling the clock and being able to run the fullback and a power running game, just to chunk away at the defense and keep that clock running and play our brand of football. I mean, there's been things in every phase. I think we've for the most part. Saturday was an exception. There was a couple times where they had some kick returns that we were a little disappointed, but we had guys in position. We missed some tackles on those plays, but have covered kicks well. Had guys in position. Obviously, the fake that kind of turned the game there for us. It was a 10-point game, and we were able to execute that fake and put ourselves in scoring position and stretch the lead. So there's things that they've done really well. But there's just lots and lots of things that we've got to do better. And we're going to have to do all of those things where we're feeling like we're falling a little short, a whole lot better against Cincinnati. This is an outstanding football team, top 25 team, well coached, veteran guys. They're big. I looked at their defense today and looked at their depth chart that they sent us, and holy smokes! I mean, they're just a great looking football team physically. So very fast. They got skill guys, whether it be offense or the kick returner. I'm just really impressed with their team. Coach Fickle's a great coach.
And Jeff, the turnovers, they're going more back your way this year. I know last year there were some challenges in that way. Do you attribute it to anything in preseason, execution, mental, holding on to the football and forcing turnovers?
I think that there's an effort being put toward that, but I feel like there's always been that's always been something that has been a priority for us. And some years you just in some games you just seem to get more than others, but it's different than I think a guy just handing the ball over to us or pitching the ball on the ground or dropping it on accident. We've taken some balls away. We've stripped the ball and knocked it loose, and that's really encouraging to see our guys making that effort. I'm disappointed about the one turnover we had on Saturday. I wish we wouldn't turn it over at all, but we had a couple other balls on the ground, and that's one of the things that's worrisome to me. We can't turn the ball over and hope to win football games. That's something that we harp on with our team, and it's not just winning the turnover battle. It's not turning the ball over at all.
Thanks, Coach.
As a reminder, mute your line if you are not asking a question. Please remember to mute your line if you are not asking a question. We'll start here with Ken Kreitzer.
Good afternoon, Coach. I just wanted to ask you about the team's reaction to the cancellation of the BYU game. Came up late Saturday night. And if there was any thought about being able to have another game this weekend.
We were disappointed that we weren't going to be able to play, and that's a top 25 team and a great opportunity for us to be tested as a program and try to measure up. We saw their opening game, and they are just a tremendous football team, physical and well coached. Kalani's done a tremendous job with that program, and they've had some big victories under him, and it really looks like they got a great football team. And so we really were hoping for an opportunity, one, because they're a great team, and two, we want to play. And our guys have worked really hard, and particularly our veteran players, our senior players, who want to play as many games as they can. We made every attempt that we could to try to find someone to play this weekend. Mike Buddy and Bob Beretta, I think they're still working at it and still hopeful that we might be able to get someone to play. There are teams who have the weekend off or don't have a game this weekend that I think could play, have chosen not to play, or may not feel like they're prepared to play. But we attempted, but so far we have not had any luck finding an opponent. So if that's the case and we don't, then we'll take this week to prepare for Cincinnati and kind of double down, getting ready for that game.
And Coach, if I could just follow up, is there any thought about playing the BYU game on the open date in November or Thanksgiving weekend?
We've discussed it, but it's not something we're committing to right now. I think we've got to look at where we're at here in a couple of weeks down the road and just see what happens with the rest of the football season. There's certainly a lot of unknowns and a lot of possibilities that as we get into the weeks to come and we look at the other games, particularly the CIC games and the effects of what may happen with this virus and what we need to do with each open weekend that we have, I think we've kind of got to consider that. So we would love to play that game. They're a great team, and it would be just a great opportunity for our program to play a team of that caliber. And if we can do it, we'll try to do it. But right now we've got our schedule pretty set right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Next question from Charles Grievous.
Good afternoon, Coach. I want to piggyback off of Ken's question regarding the BYU cancellation game or postponement of that game. Is there anything that you and the staff put forth to ensure that there is not a letdown for a group of young men who we all assume were anxious, as you mentioned, to take on visiting BYU, who, by the way, is, again, you mentioned top 25 and now preparing for Cincinnati?
Oh, I think there was some excitement certainly leading up to that game that we would have a chance to play them, and our guys all saw their opening game as well. We had a chance there on that Monday night to sit down on TV or sit down in front of a TV and watch it, and you see what a great team they are. We hoped we'd have an opportunity, but that's not anything we can control. So. Not that I can control the emotions of these young men, but I do try to control their expectations or manage their expectations in that they don't put all their eggs in the basket of, hey, we're going to play BYU, and if we don't get to play them, gosh, we're going to be so disappointed and we're going to have a letdown. I think there's plenty of things we need to do to get prepared for Cincinnati if we can't find an opponent here sometime today, which I think today is probably this would be the latest we could do it. But if we are playing Cincinnati, there's plenty for us to do to prepare for them. They too are an outstanding team, very well coached and very talented.
Thank you. And my follow-up and final question, when observers assess the success of a program, offense and defense are really the first to come to mind, and special teams is often an afterthought, if you will. That being said, can you provide kind of the Reader's Digest version of how special teams have played in the first 2 games of your season?
Special teams is often an afterthought of a lot of people watching the game. But I believe there's a statistic that 1 in every 6 or 7 plays or every 7th play or something like that is a special teams play. So they're a big part of the game. They're not a third of the game necessarily in terms of the number of plays there are, but they're a big part of the game. And when there's a kickoff play or there's a punt play, the potential is there that those plays can gain 40 or more yards per play. And there aren't many offensive plays that average 40 yards or more per play. So when people talk about it being a field position game, and football is a field position game, the kicking plays become very important. After kicking plays, there's obviously a spot on the field that the ball is placed for the next set of downs for the offense, for one team or the other. The team that wins the field position battle after kicking plays often wins the game at a rate over 70%. So it's really important that we win the kicking game, try to win the kicking game, and make that phase of our team a priority. And so we've got a lot of guys that start on offense and defensive positions, but yet still are in there on the special teams plays. Brandon Walters is a perfect example. Started as slot back on Saturday, he blocked a punt. So I think for us, we realize how important the field position is for our team, particularly the style of offense that we run, and so that I think that our special teams play has been good the first couple of weeks, and that's probably contributed to our success.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Next question from John Kikis.
Hey, Coach. How important do you think the bubble has been to your success so far? Has it given you an edge? Are teams ready for your physicality?
I think everybody else is physical too. We're not the only physical football team in the country. What we've been able to do is continue to practice. We haven't had any breaks in the preseason camp or our preparation, and we've been fortunate there that we've been able to remain healthy and not allow this virus to creep in. But it happens so easily, and it can happen to us. So all we can do is continue to try to do our very best to be vigilant with the things that we know are right, the guidelines we've been given, and hope for the best, that we'll remain healthy. But just being able to practice every day and improve, and I think that's contributed to the success. Like I said, I think all teams are trying to play physical. It's not easy to win a football game. Middle Tennessee's got a well-coached, talented football team. They're a physical team. ULM's a physical team. We played pretty good on those 2 days, good enough to win, and I hope it'll continue.
Your approach to this season was different from Navy's. I feel like that was a key because they did not have as much physical contact. You feel that's...
I wasn't at their practices, so I can't really tell you. I know what we did, and we just did the best we could to get ready. Kenny's a great football coach, and Kenny's going to do what he thinks is best for his football team, and I'm going to do what I think is best for mine. And there's things I've done preparing my football team in the past that I've said, gosh, I wish I would have done things a different way. And I know I read where he said the same thing. I wish maybe I'd have thought about doing some things a little bit differently. But that's who we are as coaches. We feel that sense of responsibility to our team. And I think Kenny was trying to do what he thought was right for his football team. And so he's not to blame for that. He had to make the decision that was best at the time.
Thanks, Coach.
Next question from Ken McMillan.
Jeff, great defensive showing so far this year. In a big picture sense, what are you seeing different compared to last season? Is it all approach or merely execution?
I think probably a little bit of both. But the guys are executing very well right now, and we're really just in the elementary phases of our defense because we didn't have any spring ball. Obviously, we got a new defensive coordinator and in large part a new defensive staff. So I think they're doing a good job of giving our guys things that they can handle, and I think our players are playing really hard. And we'll see as the season goes along. 2 games isn't a season. It's just 2 games, and we played pretty well. We've made some mistakes, mistakes we can't make when we play Cincinnati. So hopefully we'll continue to improve and get our guys playing at a high level so we can match the play of a high-level team like Cincinnati in 2 weeks.
Nolan Cockrell had a big day Saturday. Can you elaborate on his performance, his development, and his importance to the team?
He's always been a really tough guy, strong, determined, very intense player, and it's exciting to see him having the season he is. He's playing nose. He switches and plays